Let's talk a bit about fighting the body because this is an interesting topic for me because I kind of am taking both sides on it. But what I'm to say is that the main insight of this episode here is that it's a good idea to get good at just fighting the body in terms of getting what you want done. If you haven't noticed with living enough life yet, is that you're going to have those moments, even or days or weeks or months, where your body is just not aligning with what you want to get done for just how much work output you need, or your circadian rhythm is fucked, or and for whatever reason too, right? Because I always recommend, trying to figure out like your sleep schedule, trying to discipline yourself such that you can get to bed on time, and such that you can rid your traumas with shadow work that's giving you the anxiety, giving you all the problems, relative to not being able to get your self-care in check. But this is definitely a good skill to learn, to just be able to perform no matter what, really. This is really a matter of performing no matter what. Instead of saying fight the body, it should be like perform no matter what. But this is kind of a point that I want to hit on today, where you have to accept this part of reality. There's going to be many moments in life where it will be way better for you to just get your own way and just not take no for an answer for what your body's telling you what you need. And this reminds me a lot about or not give in to your body like being too tired or whatever, or not giving in to your circadian rhythm being off or sleep schedule being off. Like you wake up early and like your body's like, fuck, I need more sleep, blah blah blah. This reminds me a lot about Wes Watson. This is like a very much like living like Wes Watson, where you're just like saying no to your body's needs. You're depriving it of calories, you're depriving it of sleep, and you're just putting so much stress on the body. But I think what's important to understand is that our bodies are built to withstand a lot of stress. Now, that is not good for long term. You're gonna take years off your life. So as you can see, like I'm limboing back and forth on this topic. But I do think being able to just get your way, waking up on time, still, focusing on what you need to focus on, reading, whatever, studying, getting to work, all that stuff that you need for your basic survival. I think it's a legitimate practice to actually put some value into learning how to overcome these obstacles of, these walls that your body is throwing up, and being able to actually just go through and do it anyways. I mean, if you've lived, how do I put it? There's been moments in your life, hopefully, where you were really motivated to actually just get it done. Like it had to get done, whatever it was, like you just pulled it off. You didn't get much sleep, and yet you did so much stuff, and you somehow managed to pull yourself together to focus and do X, Y, Z. And what I'm suggesting here is that, especially if your survival situation is not like super consistent, right? You're a student and like you're constantly given like 50 assignments to be done in one weekend and stuff like that. it seems, at least from what I've experienced and from what several of my friends will experience, is that life will always be throwing at you situations where you're not going to be able to give yourself the sleep you need or the nutrition or whatever. And the challenge then becomes, how do you then become that individual that still gets up, that still gets a strong day and just kills it? Because eventually you'll be, hopefully, if you have the goal of escaping wage slavery, you will have to exercise this skill if you want to actually carve your own path and get what you want out of life and get your own career carved out of your own accord from something you've mastered on your own. You're going to have to be able to master this skill here of just doing whatever it takes, whatever it is, no matter what it takes, independent of how you're feeling. Reading that book independent of how you're feeling that day. It's really emotional mastery, self-management, stress management, being able to train your tolerance for stress. And what's really cool about this as well is that once you get through like some of the most crazy hell days, then you build up a tolerance for yourself, and then you start to build a self-esteem up for yourself in realizing just how much you can handle. Very few of us really know how much we can handle until we actually put ourselves through the drudgery, through the hardship, and through all that action. So what is that for you? We have the ability to execute perfect days where we're not procrastinating, where we have a high output, where we are focusing like crazy, where we do not indulge in vices. Those days are already you are already capable of executing those days. And a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we're not feeling 100%. We're not feeling optimal. Screw just not feeling, feeling at a deficit, a sleep deficit or motivation deficit or whatever it is. But actually, when you just feel a little bit off, when you just you're not feeling it that day, it's kind of an off day. It's like, well, yeah, that is something that has to be earned. What did you do today to be switched on if you're having an off day? So I want you to challenge yourself to see just how much you can still get done, even though you're at a deficit or you're on an off day. Because the more you can train yourself to still perform and to still get things done, then you're going to be able to build that skill for when you really need it. And in life, you're going to be finding yourself in situations where you still have to perform, and you're not going to get enough of what your body needs. And so, you could say that in certain chapters in your life, it's going to feel like you're always having to fight your body. You're always going to have to keep on pushing with your mental, with the mind, just to get through that day. But hey, on the other side of that, you're going to build a very strong character that's going to be able to withstand a lot more than other people. And when times do get tough, this is when the rubber meets the road. Is that, do you still have the ability to perform when everything around you goes to shit? So keep this in mind. On those off days, those are opportunities to strengthen yourself a little more. On those off weeks or months, like when your body's not, the circadian rhythm is fucking screwing you, like you can't sleep at the right hours or whatever it is for you, I want you to notice in those moments to try and switch that into an opportunity to still perform, to still train yourself to focus, because then you're going to be building you're going to be building the skill of just performing no matter what, performing no matter what's going on in your mind, in your body, whatever, how you're feeling. And that's going to be a valuable asset to you, because when it matters, you're going to actually be able to perform. So, just a little bit of food for thought on this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.